What's up, hockey fans? One of the best things about sports is how players can come out of nowhere and put up a career year, catapulting their team further than anyone could have imagined. Unfortunately, many of them are unable to maintain their play. So in today's video, we're looking at the top 10 one-hit wonders through NHL history. Some of these names you'll already know, but I bet there'll be some surprises. So let's get into it. Coming in at number 10 is Juneau. In the 92-93 season, Juneau had a mesmerizing year, playing for the Bruins on a line with Cam Neely and Adam Oates. Juneau put up 102 points while setting a record for most assists by a left winger that stood all the way up until 2022. The next season, he still put up a respectable 72 points, but then was traded to Washington. Playing with a couple of Hall of Famers might have had something to do with his breakout year, as he was only able to hit the 50-point mark one more time in his career. He stuck around the league until 2004, but never came close to the success he had with the Bruins. At number 9, we have another former Boston Bruin, Andrew Raycroft. Raycroft burst onto the scene in 2004, winning 29 games with the 2.05 goals against and 3 shutouts his rookie year. The next season, he really started to struggle and after a few subpar years was traded to Toronto for Tuukka Rask. While he managed one decent season in Toronto, the glimmer of his early brilliance gradually faded. In the ensuing years, he wandered around as a backup in the Western Conference until finally in 2012 decided to retire, nearly 10 years after exploding onto the NHL scene. Nikolai Borschevsky spent most of his professional career playing in Russia, but his first season in the NHL puts him on our list in the 8th spot. Borschevsky lit it up in the 92-93 season, scoring 34 goals and 74 points for Toronto. The hard-nosed physical player that he was is what made him stand out, but it also caused some injuries along the way. The next season, he missed almost half the games and still put up a respectable 34 points, but over the next few seasons he was limited to only about 40 games and he put up only about 15 points. He ended up leaving the NHL after only 162 games, going back to Europe to play for a few more seasons before retiring. And just like that, we have another Bruin coming in at number 7. Ken Hodge Jr. wasn't supposed to lead the Bruins to glory the way his dad did in the 1970s, but it sure looked like it could happen after his rookie season. The younger Hodge ended his season with a 2-goal night, hitting 30 for the season and finishing 3rd in Calder voting, ahead of players like Matt Sundin and Jaromir Jagr. Unfortunately, he followed up his rookie year with just 6 goals, spending half the season in the minors, and then was traded to the Lightning, where he also couldn't crack the lineup. He finished with 2 more goals in 25 games and never saw the NHL again. At number 6, Warren Young bounced around the minors for a few seasons before signing on with the Penguins in 1984 and ended up on a line with another rookie, one Mario Lemieux. Young went on to score 40 goals while shooting over 30%, which is still one of the highest marks of all time. He finished 4th in Calder voting before leaving the Pens for Detroit the next season. He ended up scoring 22 more goals that season, but after that, it was all downhill for him. He ended up playing a handful of games after that and only scoring a few more goals. Amazing what being on the wing with one of the best players of all time will do for you, right? We have a former Vezina Trophy winner here at number 5. Jim Carey took the league by storm in his first full season in the NHL, winning 35 games and leading the league in shutouts while winning the Vezina and finishing 8th in Hart Trophy voting. Unfortunately, his incredible play didn't last. The Penguins lit him up in the 1996 playoffs, and after that, the book was out on him. A season later, the Capitals traded him to the Bruins, and a season after that, he played in only 10 games. And a season after that, he was back in the minors, and shortly after, he was out of the league, finishing his career with 79 total wins. It might be a little surprising to have a player that scored almost 200 goals this high on our list at number 4, but that's exactly what we're doing with Wayne Babych. The Blues had high hopes for Babych, drafting him 3rd overall in 1978, with him showing promise his first couple of years, scoring over 50 goals. Then came the 1980-81 season, where he put up a mind-blowing 54 goals, including 40 at even strength. Not surprisingly, Babych couldn't maintain anything close to that production, as for most of the rest of his career, he put up role player points. He did hit 20-goal mark one more time in his career, but it was over by 1987. Coming in at number 3 on our list is another Bruin, goaltender Blaine Lacher. Lacher signed a contract with the Bruins in 1994 and ended up taking over the starting job, where he went on to win 19 games in the lockout-shortened season. He even finished 5th in the Calder Trophy voting. Sadly, he struggled mightily in his second season, and the Bruins made a mid-season trade for Bill Ranford, that essentially spelled the end for Lacher. He finished the season in the minors, and after a rough start to the next season, was pretty much done. His entire pro career lasted less than 3 years. At number 2, we have the uncle of NHLer Nick Bjugstad, Scott Bjugstad. Bjugstad was a skinny kid who was a long shot to make the NHL, drafted in the 9th round in 1981. In his second full season, he stormed onto the scene and turned into an elite sniper, netting 43 goals and 76 points. That season, he didn't have a superstar on his line like Warren Young. He just shot at a really high percentage clip and made things work. Unfortunately for the next season, he was hurt some and only netted 4 goals in 39 games, and then over the course of the next 5 seasons only scored about 20 total goals. In total, he played parts of 9 different seasons and scored 56% of his career goals in one of them. And here we go, the top one-hit wonder in NHL history, Jonathan Cheechoo. While Cheechoo had a couple of decent seasons, nothing came close to his 2005-2006 season where he netted a league-best 56 goals and 93 points for the Sharks. This was the season Joe Thornton was traded to San Jose, and once he joined the team, things really clicked, as Cheechoo put up 49 of his goals in the next 58 games. The next season, he did put up a respectable 37 goals and made the All-Star team, but his production really decreased every season after that. He finished his career with 170 goals, albeit about a third coming in that magical season. He definitely will always be mentioned in the NHL's one-hit wonder club, but maybe he does deserve a better fate. And there you go, hockey fans, the top 10 one-hit wonders in NHL history. There's a bunch of other guys that probably could have also made the list, so if there's someone you think should be on it, leave a comment below and let us know. Help us out and hit that like and subscribe button, and remember, it's a great day for hockey.